Okay, welcome to my World of Warcraft house. I know this looks a little bit different from the usual houses, which like this one or this one or this one over here, but this is also just what the in-game housing system allows you to do with the in-game house. So yeah, I mean it's Airship. So, but maybe let me show you this thing on all of the possible angles and sides. So here we have a deck, of course. It's wooden right now. Hopefully one of these days I make it look a bit better. And if we, fly around, of course, there's the usual hull of a ship. And then we have, propellers, and more propellers. And that's kind of what we have right now. So maybe I can also say just a little bit about how this is built. So as you can see, well, these are just platforms and these are just beams. So these are actually quite cheap and easy to get. You can actually just buy them off the vendor over here, over at the town hall. So nothing really special. The only special thing is really just that, well, or the only difficult part is just that you have these things and now you have to kind of rotate them to the right angles and stuff like that and put them in the right places. So it's a bit time consuming but also not too bad. And then these are from Mechagnomes, and this is from a this is from the Warrior Order Hall over here. So also something that you can maybe get relatively easily. So nothing is super expensive here. And the house itself, well, quote-unquote house, I guess this is what they call the F castle of the ship, right? Basically, this is just the usual house. You just kind of put the right setting here. For example, if you, do this or you do this, you basically just pick the right setting so the thing looks like a ship, and that's kind of it. Yeah, so let me see. I think that might be most of the things I want to. Oh, right. The other thing is I feel like one of the challenges is really the decor limit. So as you see, I'm getting pretty close to the cap. So basically, it would be hard or challenging to get a better deck than this. But I would love to see if other people has done a better job than this. But yeah, let's also take a quick look inside. So basically, what we have is a something that looks like this, as appropriate for a mechagnome, I guess. So we have our fleet of mechs. Well, I guess first of all we have our metal floor, metal ceiling, and metal walls. And then we have our fleet of mechs, and then we have the bed, the chest, and what they call the mechagnome sustenance distributor, which is a bit strange or mysterious rather, because this does not look like food, so it's I guess just what we call sustenance. And then here's the atomic recalibrator, which basically means if you're not a mechagnome, you can step on this and become one of us. And then there's a Tesla coil, which is the typical mechagnome thing. So yeah, maybe that is, I mean, this is kind of small. Maybe one of these days I'll make it a bit bigger as well, but this is what we have right now. And maybe I can also say a little bit about how this is built. So basically the floors are just fence posts. So if you basically just jam these things into the ground and it becomes a tile. And the same with ceiling tiles. It's actually the same fence post. You just like kind of jam it into a ceiling and it becomes a ceiling tile. And the walls are made out of just like tables, and maybe some barrels and chest, crates. Or there are also some gears, and there's also some armory racks. Basically, like you just like there are stuff that does not look like part of do not look like walls, but then if you actually take a look, like you can actually still just put them into a wall, and now they look like a metal wall, and that is kind of how building goes in this game. So there is that. And then, yeah, I think everything else is relatively simple. Basically, you just buy all the furniture and place them wherever you want. Or at least I haven't figured out a way to make the insides look nicer yet. So maybe I will not comment too much on that. But yeah, that is probably all I have to show. So thank you.